Y'all still bills? What's the deal, man? Y'all just got off the motherfucking clock, bro. Like, I gotta hurry up and go pick up my babies and drop some off for my daughter at her job, and then I can go home, man. All on bad breaks too, man. My breaks is tragic right now, man. It's bad right now. It's bad right now. So, but peep game, man, we got to get into this shit, man. And that's this Shakur Stevenson versus Frank Martin debacle, man. I'm really disappointed in that shit, man. I was really looking forward to seeing that fight. I really was. I don't. Y'all gonna call me anti PBC, which I am, but I just feel like there's a bigger picture at play. But he still got to wear that until further notice. Until further notice, he still has to wear the fact that he ducked, man. It's a lot of people who are trying to equate this shit to the Devin Haney situation with Shakur Stevenson, kind of trying to way to wiggle up out of that shit. And it's like, it's not the same thing. And it's not the same thing because Frank Martin is not nearly as accomplished as Shakur Stevenson. His best win is Michelle Rivera, and he hasn't even got a belt off of. He didn't get a belt off of that. It was just a good win. It was a solid win for him. So to compare Frank Martin doing this to Shakur Stevenson and turn around and say, "Yo, well, Shakur Stevenson did it to Devin Haney," it's a non sequitur because it's like, yo, what the fuck? Where would Bob Aarons even came out and stated, "Yo, man, where's this offer coming from? Where's Devin Haney getting this money to pay Shakur Stevenson? That's all $8 million or with like an $8 million person, some wild shit like that." I'm like, yo, do y'all not know how much that meant? Devin Haney gets paid a lot of money. Like, let's just I think regular everyday 9 to 5 ass niggas get shit fucked up. But we say, yo, man, like he ain't getting no money. Man, listen. Frank Martin hasn't made over 100K to my knowledge, or maybe barely over 100K. That's money. It may not be money on the scale of someone that's in his profession, but that's definitely money. You think you get me fighting 2 times a year, and every time I get out there and fight, I get 100K, nigga, I'm gonna be lit. I'm gonna be lit like a motherfucker. I ain't leaving the house that I live in. I might move back. I might buy my old house that I grew up in or move somewhere back in my neighborhood. But nigga, we up. We up. But that's not, that's neither here nor there. Devin Haney, like, he would, he got paid, a couple of $1 million or whatever for the fights that he was getting over there with Eddie Hearn. But when he signed the not Matchroom, but Top Rank, yeah, he was getting paid. He was getting paid properly. But 8 M's, bro, that's no 8 M's. We saw what them Shakur numbers look like. We saw what that George Kambosos fight looked like, man. You not a nigga that can return and invest. You ain't the nigga that can make a return on that investment, my nigga. So the fact that niggas was talking about Shakur Stevenson was gonna get up to 8 M's, okay, what is Devin Haney gonna be making now? Because he's the undisputed world champion. Y'all are gonna be. He would be having to make it like 10 to 15 M's, bro. Nah, my nigga, like y'all bullshit. It was just too many holes in that notion that, yo, man, Devin Haney sent dude a contract, yada yada. And then Bob Aaron was like, where's he getting his money from? Who backing him? Who backing him? So now here we are. We fast forward to Frank Martin versus Shakur Stevenson. They're trying to use that as a reason, as a justification for Frank Martin doing what it is that he did. And I'm sitting back like it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing at all. And even if it was the case, my nigga, who the fuck is a Frank Martin? Like, bro, you get an opportunity like that, you jump on it. Why pound for pound? Shakur Stevenson is a pound for pound caliber fighter. He's a pound for pound caliber fighter with some really good accolades to his resume. Just at 24 years old, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, nah, my nigga, nah. You jump on that opportunity. It's only right you jump on that opportunity. He didn't jump on the opportunity. Here we are now. So I'm kind of feeling like they may be angling towards a tank fight later on next year or so. Maybe even at the end of the year. I'm not so sure. Nah, next year, because it's looking like he's gonna fight Isaac Cruz. But I do think that I feel like it's more so the PBC than it is Frank Martin. And a lot of people, of course, are coming into the aid of Frank Martin. I've had a lot of people argue with me that Bud and Spencer's situation is different from but Frank and Shakur's situation. And I'm like, it is, but it ain't. All of the hate that the Spence fans can no longer give Bud, they're throwing that at the feet of Shakur Stevenson now. We can't call Bud a duck anymore. We can't call him crawfish. We can't call him this and that and the third. It was clear as day what happened on July 29th. So now that we can no longer denigrate Bud for not signing a contract or not taking a zero guarantee on the contract. Now that we can no longer do that, we're not in a position to do that no more because the fight has already happened and we've seen the results of the fight. Now we just gonna pile all of that shit on to Shakur Stevenson and he has to wear that. He got to wear that now. He ain't did nothing who he fought. He ain't this and that and third. He should have took that fight with Devin Haney. He should have signed that contract for. Okay. And because people are still so enamored with Spence, or just the PBC, any opportunity they get to show the PBC in a certain light, they're gonna do that. They're gonna jump at that opportunity, and that's what they're doing with this shit right here. I need people to understand. Don't get caught and don't get lost in the, you know what I'm saying, in the wordy shit that niggas is saying and these little convoluted talking points and narratives that they're trying to come up with to justify Frank Martin for getting out of that fight. Don't get lost in that shit. Don't get lost in that shit. They're gonna try and bring up Devin Haney's situation with Shakur Stevenson. That ain't got shit to do with them niggas. It don't make no fucking sense. Nigga like me, I stay out of the business aspect of it, man, because money irritates me. Like when you talk, just I'm a purist. So yeah, I'm understanding that these cats want to be compensated for what it is that they do. Yeah, but it does get to a point where the bag should not usurp you chasing greatness. That's my thing. And when you start to add money into shit, politics and everything, that's when the shit starts getting spooky and I get aggravated and I just say, yo, fuck it, I'm cool on all this shit. I don't want nothing to do with it. So I don't know, my nigga. I don't know, my nigga. I don't know. It's goofy to me, man. I'm reading all these narratives and I'm blinking at myself like y'all are really trying to. If this was Canelo, do y'all look for reasons to sit there and say, yo, well, y'all look for reasons to justify him backing out of a fight? When Bud and Spence's fight was on the line, they was talking about that shit late last year, and Bud said, yo, I'm gonna get a tune-up in. They said he ran. They said he was ducking. They said all that shit. Why are y'all not keeping the same energy with Frank? Now, granted, it's not all boxing fans abroad. It's a contingency of boxing fans who refuse to indict this nigga for doing what it is that he did. And as I've stated before, I don't think that is him fully. I don't think that is him fully. If you're gonna lose, you're gonna lose to somebody over here, and you're gonna lose to a fighter in house. You're gonna lose to Shakur. Top Rank been putting their foot in PBC fighters' asses for years, my nigga. We not giving y'all that. No. If you lose, you're gonna lose to Tank or Edwin De Los Santos or something like that. Y'all won't give him goddamn Isaac. You won't give him like goddamn to do this. Even like I said, I think in Frank Martin's last performance, that wasn't the Frank Martin that fought Michelle Rivera. That looked like an unmotivated Frank Martin. I'm gonna die on that hill. That looked like a nigga who was like, y'all, he was, y'all, that was a you got me fucked up fight. You got me fucked up fight. I'm man down promotions and you ain't even about to put me on the undercard. You trying to push me? You gonna throw Isaac Cruz on that motherfucker? Not even put me on the undercard. Nah, nigga, I'm cool. I think him and Shakur would have been a good fight. I think he would have got up for Shakur. And we would have got the same caliber performance that we got from Michelle Rivera with Frank Martin. I think we would have got that. So I'm not entirely too, I'm not about to just hang on to that last fight with I don't even know how to pronounce our own boy's name. I'm not gonna do that. Not gonna do that. But yeah, man, they just refuse to indict this nigga because he's a Spence fighter and a PBC fighter. He signed to Man Down Promotions. Man Down Promotions is a conglomerate of the PBC and all that shit. So they're not gonna, they're gonna completely disregard Frank Martin backing out of the fight. I'd be lying if I said if I feel like it was completely his fault. But he has to wear that until he comes out and let it be known. He has to wear that. Because if he goes and he fights Tank, it makes a lot more sense because it's a more lucrative fight. Frank Martin ain't gonna get the bag that Ryan Garcia got, but I think people are really still high off of Tank's last performance with Ryan Garcia, so he may get a little bit more viewership than he did before the Ryan Garcia fight. It ain't gonna be no million. I don't even think it's gonna be 500K. Fuck around, be like 400K. Could possibly get a bigger bag out of that. So it would be understandable if he goes up there, if he stays over there and he fights Tank. I'd be completely understanding of that. But Tank's track record is letting it be known that Frank Martin ain't in the scope. Frank Martin ain't in the scope. I'm supposed to believe that Tank is gonna say, "Yo, all right, cool, man. Yo, bring me Frank Martin. Me and Frank Martin can run that shit." I don't believe that shit at all. I don't believe that shit at all. It's a multitude of fighters over there that Tank can fight. He ain't chose to fight him. But I'm supposed to believe he's gonna fight Frank Martin. Maybe he will. I don't know. Maybe that's the deal what Al Heyman made with him. Yo, man, you stay over here. I mean, the fight, the venue was already the day that set, the venue was booked. We ready to rock out. We looking forward to this fight. Hell yeah! Just to get hit with the news that we got hit with, man. I just think it was something else. It was something else. And even with him coming out, yo, I ain't dug shit. Even in that tweet, he's not giving us nothing to go off of. But I don't know, man. It's just the feeling that I'm getting. It's the energy that I'm picking up on, man. That this and just the history of what that particular side of the street does. They'll block you from a fight because they think a bigger fight is on the horizon. They did that shit with Andy Ruiz. They did that, not Andy Ruiz, but Adam Kalnaki. They did that with him. So nah, we ain't gonna let you go over there and fight Joshua, but here, go fight Robert Helenius. You dig what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I just feel like it's a bigger picture, a bigger plot at play. I'm not about to. I don't want to fully. I'll hold off on fully indicting Frank Martin, but he does have to wear that. He does have to wear that title until he lets it be known. Nah, bro. Until he lets that shit be known, he gotta wear that title as a duck. And it is what it is. It is what it is, my nigga. Come out, let it be known. Do it. I go live on IG. We need a Twitter. We need something other than what it is that you're saying. Because I feel like they told you to back about that fight. I got a feeling that they told you to do that shit. But until you let that shit be known, this is where we stand, Brody. You cracking a little too hard over there. So I don't know who they got for Shakur Stevenson next. I don't know if it's Edwin De Los Santos. That's what they said. But if they ain't send Frank Martin over there, they ain't gonna send Edwin De Los Santos over there. After he stopped Rayo, nah, nigga, nah. We can't afford to send you over there. So I don't know, man. Put him in there with Jermaine Ortiz or something, man. Like we need. And he's been calling out Shakur as well, man. We need that. We need Shakur in there with somebody of that ilk. We need Shakur in there with somebody of that ilk. So I'm with that, man. I can go for a Jermaine Ortiz fight, man. Just get that man back in the ring, bro. Just get that man back in the ring. For November, December. They'll figure something out in the next week or so. I don't know, man. But yeah, that's how I'm feeling about it. I'm picking up my kids right now. I get with y'all later, my niggas. Y'all stay righteous. Doses.